Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 13th of July. Pakistan refuses to seek voice sample of Mumbai attack mastermind Lakhvi. Suicide blast near US base killed at least 33 in eastern Afghanistan. And Bollywood bandwagon rolls out to wish newlyweds Shahid, Kapoor and Mira. And now for all the details. Just days after the Prime Ministers of both India and Pakistan agreed to expedite the 2008 Mumbai terror attack case trial, Pakistan has refused to collect fresh voice samples of the alleged mastermind Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi. The trial in Pakistan, which began in October 2009, has so far failed to make much progress.
The Pakistani prosecution team in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack case said the government will not file any fresh petition seeking the voice sample of Lashkar-e-Toiba commander Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi. This comes after Lakhvi's legal team on Sunday informed the court that he has refused to provide voice samples. As per Pakistani law, the voice sample of an individual can be obtained only if he gives consent. Ujjwal Nikam, the public prosecutor in the case in India, said it was the failure of the tribunal in Pakistan. He added that Lakhvi refused for the same because India has evidence against him.
लखवी इसलिए नहीं आज कह रहा है क्योंकि उसे पता है कि अगर वो वॉइस सैंपल देता है और जो हमने वॉइस उसका इंटरसेप्ट किया है जब 26/11 का हमला चल रहा था तब वो कंट्रोल रूम में मौजूद था, ये साबित हो जाएगा. इसे कहते हैं रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ गिल्टी माइंड.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Pakistani counterpart Nawaz Sharif, who met in Russian city of Ufa on Friday, had agreed to expedite the trial through various methods, including provision of voice samples. Pakistan's envoy to India, Abdul Basit, said the two countries are yet to formally decide on the course of action.
I would once again recommend to you to go back and read the joint statement, which clearly says that both sides will discuss ways and means to expedite the trial. So both the sides haven't yet met to discuss the ways and means. So let us wait and do not draw premature conclusions.
Lakhvi, along with 6 others, were arrested in December 2008 for planning and executing one of the biggest terror attacks on Indian soil. Even though Pakistan promised to bring the culprits to justice, not much progress has been made in the trial. Pakistan claims that India has so far not provided solid evidence to link Lakhvi to the case. The prolonged delay and adjournments in the legal procedure has resulted in Lakhvi getting bail earlier this year, a development over which New Delhi has raised serious objections.
The death toll in a suicide blast that struck eastern Afghanistan rose to 33 on Monday. The blast, one of the biggest attacks targeting civilians in recent times, comes days after the Afghan government held first formal round of peace talks with the insurgents towards reconciliation.
The suicide car bomb that went off near a US base in the eastern city of Khost on Sunday also left over a dozen others injured. According to security officials, the attacker intended to penetrate the Camp Chapman, a major facility of the coalition forces in the region, also known as the Forward Operating Base Chapman. The explosion struck when residents were heading home to break their Ramzan fast. The police said all casualties were known to have been civilians. Located near the Pakistan border, the camp had been hit by a previous Taliban-led suicide blast in December 2009 that had left 7 CIA personnel dead. Though no group has claimed responsibility for Sunday's attack so far, it comes in the same week the Afghan government and the Taliban undertook the first formal talks, aimed at ending 13 years of war and bringing stability to the war-ravaged nation. The talks on Tuesday last week were facilitated by the Pakistan leadership and attended by representatives from US and China too.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday signed key agreements with Tajikistan during a state visit. With this, the Indian Premier concluded his 8-day tour of Central Asia. A report.
Prime Minister Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the Qasr-e-Millat courtyard in capital Dushanbe by Tajikistan President Emomali Rahman on Monday. The country heads held delegation-level bilateral talks on various issues including trade, investment and commerce. Both the sides inked key deals on protection and preservation of cultural heritage and human resource development. Prime Minister Modi also raised concerns on rising terrorism in the region.
We are both located in the proximity of the main source of terrorism. Combating terrorism and extremism has always been an important and productive area of cooperation. At a time of growing threat of terrorism, we have resolved to intensify our cooperation further.
Prime Minister Modi also visited the Ismaili Somoni statue made to commemorate the Samanid Amir Ismail ibn Ahmad and laid a wreath at the monument. He arrived in Tajikistan on Sunday as the last leg of his 5-nation Central Asian trip after Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan.
After weeks of political standoff, Myanmar's opposition party, the National League for Democracy, led by Aung San Suu Kyi, had decided to contest the upcoming general election. The country goes to polls in November.
Ending days of speculation, opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi's party over the weekend announced of running in the polls which are being billed as crucial for country's reforms. It will be the first general election in a quarter of century to be contested by the party. Suu Kyi, whose own presidential aspirations are hampered by a clause in the military-drafted constitution, said if her party wins by a landslide, it will amend the provision. The National League for Democracy, or NLD, is expected to have major gains in the election if held in free and fair manner. The party won Myanmar's last election in 1990 with a majority, but the result was ignored by the then-ruling military, which ceded power in 2011.
Opposition is growing among the people of Gilgit-Baltistan against Pakistan's move to grant provincial status to the region. Nationalist leaders have called the decision unlawful.
The provincial province status to Gilgit-Baltistan is a joke, Manzoor Parwana, chairperson of Gilgit-Baltistan United Movement, has said. He also criticized Islamabad's move to introduce constitutional packages to the region, calling it illegal, considering the region does not fall under Pakistan's constitution. Parwana further claimed that the then government in Islamabad took the administrative control of Gilgit-Baltistan in 1949 under a pact which was not signed by any representative of the Himalayan belt. He called upon Pakistan to respect the right to self-determination by the people of the remote region. Parwana's statement comes days after both Prime Minister and President of POK registered their strong criticism against the move. POK President Sardar Muhammad Yaqub Khan had last week warned the Nawaz Sharif government to change its plan or face severe reaction, similar to what led to the formation of Bangladesh in 1971. Gilgit-Baltistan, which was earlier known as Northern Areas, was originally a part of India's princely state of Jammu and Kashmir until its occupation by Pakistan in 1947. Even after the UN recognizing it as a disputed region and a resolution mandating the maintenance of status quo, Islamabad carved it out of POK as a separate administrative unit in 1970. Despite having an elected assembly, powers on key issues like taxation are still held by a Gilgit-Baltistan Council in Islamabad, headed by the Pakistan Prime Minister.
Sri Lanka's ruling United National Party has formed an alliance with key partners to tackle former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in the parliamentary election. Rajapaksa's opponents have been making all efforts to foil his comeback bid.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between United National Party, or the UNP, led by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and other opponents of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, including a breakaway faction of his Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Representatives of the parties signed a deal to form the new alliance, the National Front for Good Governance, on Sunday at the Prime Minister's official residence in Colombo. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe said the parties have come together to ensure that Rajapaksa won't return to power in the elections next month.
Rajapaksa regime හිටපු මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිවරයාත් ඇවිල්ලා ආපහු මේ බලේ ලබා ගන්නට මේ විප්ලවය කඩා දාන්නට ප්‍රතිවිප්ලවයක් ඇති කරන්නට ගත්ත උත්සාහයට අපි මූණ දෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් ඒ විප්ලවය අපි තහවුරු කරන්න ඕනේ. ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා මේ පක්ෂ සියල්ලම එකට එකතු වෙලා ඒ බැලුවා එකට තරඟ කරන්න උවමනයි කියලා.
The coalition partners had also contributed to the victory of President Maithripala Sirisena over Rajapaksa in presidential polls this January. Rajapaksa, who ruled the island nation for 10 years, has been eyeing for a comeback to power. He has been accused of corruption and nepotism during his 10-year rule from 2005 to 2015.
They might have kept the shutterbugs away from their quiet wedding last week, but they couldn't refrain from the lingering excitement ever since. Take a look at how Bollywood poured in to wish this latest couple.
When Bollywood's most eligible bachelor took wedding vows last Tuesday, the nation got into a frenzy for their favourite actor. Shahid Kapoor, who tied knot with Delhi girl Mira Rajput at a private ceremony last week, kept his promise of throwing one of the biggest Bollywood parties this year. The duo had top names in the industry trooping in at a star-studded reception hosted by the newlyweds in entertainment capital Mumbai on Sunday. From producers to directors to actors to choreographers, the party was no less than a red carpet of any award ceremony. Shahid's co-stars from various films including Shraddha Kapoor, Alia Bhatt and Jania D'Souza all came. Those who preferred to arrive with family were father-daughter duo Anil Kapoor and Sonam, Ratna Pathak with her sons Imad and Vivan, Diya Mirza with husband Sahil Sangha, Archana Puran Singh and Parmeet Sethi, and filmmaker brothers Abbas Mastan. Shahid, who has made enough friends and well-wishers in the fraternity over the span of his 12 years long career, couldn't expect any less adulation from his contemporaries and Bollywood veterans alike. Filmmakers Goldie Behel, Siddharth Roy Kapoor, Vikramaditya Motwani, Vikas Behel, Anurag Kashyap and Vishal Bhardwaj were present too. Shahid's mentor and dance guru Shamak Davar also couldn't keep away from the grand event. Superstar Amitabh Bachchan took out time to bless the couple as well. Shahid's mother, Nilima Azim, was ecstatic about the nuptial and all praise for her daughter-in-law.
Incredibly happy that Shahid has found such a dignified and such a beautiful girl with a wonderful heart. And she comes from a wonderful family, extremely lovely people. And this is the kind of girl I wanted for Shahid.
Shahid's close friend Masaba Gupta, who was one of the few to attend the close-knit wedding, arrived with her husband this time too. While Shahid's stepfather Rajesh Khattar and his half-brother Ishan were all suited up, actors Preeti Zinta and Kangana Ranaut also flaunted the traditional Indian sari to the hilt. 34-year-old Shahid, son of veteran actor Pankaj Kapoor, chose an arranged marriage with the 21-year-old Mira. They met through a religious group and had been making headlines ever since their engagement in January. The two tied the knot at a gurdwara in the presence of very close friends and family on July 7th.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Pakistan refuses to seek voice sample of Mumbai attack mastermind Lakhvi. Suicide blast near US base kills at least 33 in eastern Afghanistan. And Bollywood bandwagon rolls out to wish newlyweds Shahid Kapoor and Mira. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNews9.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.